Hi, my name is Gil Robertson, president of the African American Film Critics Association. Today, we're talking to our good friend and AAFCA stakeholder, Reginald Hutland, about his new film with Amazon Prime, Candy Cane Lane. We're so happy to see this wonderful film, which I just know is going to become a big holiday classic. We're going to kick things off by introducing you to the AAFCA members who are on the call today, starting with Nancy Green in Los Angeles, Carolyn Hines in Toronto, Karan Lenoir Kelly in Charlottesville, Virginia, Dana Abercrombie in New York, Harrison Martin in Winston-Salem, Michael Sewell in Washington, D.C., and Samuel Leggett, also in Washington. I'm going to let you guys do what you do so well, and we'll see you on the other side.
Everybody listen, this is important. I'm gonna show you guys something, and when I show you what I'm gonna show you, don't freak out. I can explain.
It's magic. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
High stakes as neighbors compete for best decorated house on the block.
I think this is the house to beat.
Wow. What's your Christmas wish?
I just want to win this thing. I'll take it.
Signature, please. Ignore all the fine print. It's like you're signing your life away. Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Oh, it will be.
Rise and shine, naughty boy.
What the hell is all of this? Something's happening.
Good morning, sir.
Are you real?
We all were, until we fell into that elf sick trap.
You made your wish. You're in it now.
I didn't sign on for this.
You literally signed on for this.
You gotta read the fine print, man. The terms of service are brutal.
Say goodbye to your dad.
Why are y'all just like Prince?
We're not gonna let her turn your dad into one of those weird Happy Meal toys. No offense, I'm sorry.
None taken.
A little taken.
We are the Carvers. We gotta catch an elf.
You met with the wrong family.
We split up.
What do you mean we should split up? Have you never watched a horror film? If you split up, somebody dies. Have you ever died?
Oh?
It is not fun.
That's true. I'd never died, but Mom knows. I didn't know you died. Well, let's go find these rings. Is that who I think it is?
Oh my God, Black Santa!
I knew Santa was black, man!
Great. I love that we got the whole country, northeast, southwest, and not to mention our neighbor to the north. This is fantastic.
You know how we do it. You know how we do it.
Yes.
Yeah, my name is Samuel Leggett. I'm with JVS Media Productions. We're in the Washington, D.C. area. Reggie, thank you so much for talking with us. I talked with you briefly last year with Sydney, and I wanted to kind of talk with you about this specifically because this is a Christmas special. And so you're working with David, you're working with Tracy, you're working with Eddie. How special was the moment for you to not only work with them, but actually make a true Christmas special in your own light with Kelly's script?
Yeah, I've been wanting to make a Christmas movie for a long time, just because I love Christmas movies and Christmas specials. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Charlie Brown Christmas, Grinch, and I remember when I was producing Django Unchained, and my family went to visit, and my kids were very young, so they walked into the set where the walls were literally dripping blood, and they were like. This is cool, but when you're going to make a movie for us? I was like, good point. So I'm glad I finally delivered to them a Christmas movie about a family, not unlike our own family, and and to build on Christmas mythology, which I love, and we added our own flavor to it.
Yeah, I hope it becomes a classic. Thank you so much, Reggie.
Thank you.
Hi, Reggie. Dana Abercrombie from the Coalition. Thank you so much for speaking to me. What I really wanted to talk about was I love the incorporation of is a family-friendly movie. Also, with the modern technology and using the dolls, for example, you have the dolls, you have the birds, you have goose, swan, everything else. So, can you talk about working along with the technology that we have in order to incorporate the design and the look of the dolls, but also keeping it realistic?
Absolutely. Well, the thing was, that was some of the most fun stuff for me, doing it in the movie. And we really did have a couple of innovations along the way. First of all, I was like, look, we had talked about what's the look of the characters, and people are, oh, it should be wooden. That's I'm like, no, I don't grow up with no wooden ornaments. I have glass ornaments. I mean, like, I wanted to look like stuff folks really have. And they were like, well, no one's ever done that. I said, okay, but we're working with Industrial Light and Magic. They literally, all they do is make breakthroughs, right? They did Star Wars. They did Jurassic Park. They can make a dinosaur. I bet we could do this. And when the first character stuff came through, I was like, this is exactly right. And then the sound design, because, glass, if you have moving glass, you're going to hear that sound. So adding all those elements to make it really feel believable, as fantastic as it is, and to do great renditions of our actors, of Nick Offerman, of Chris Redd, of Robin Thede, so that when they come to life by the end of the movie, you go, oh, yeah. We got it, So all that technical stuff was important. But one of the most important things was the voice recording. Because normally you would, shoot the live action actors, then some months later you would do the voices of the village people, as we call them. I said, but I don't want that. I want to shoot them all at the same time because I want them to be able to improvise. You got some of the funniest people in the planet. I want them all in the same room jamming with each other. So we created some technological stuff so we could actually do that. So what you hear is Chris Redd and Robin Thede and Nick Offerman freestyling with Tracy Ellis Ross, with Eddie Murphy, doing it as we would do any other character in the movie.
Hey, Reginald, this is Karan with Karanism.com and Love Music Pleasure. It's such a joy to speak to you. We've seen so much work from you for over the years. You've given us so much, and I'm really grateful. But this was a visual spectacle. I'd like to know what the creative relationship was like with your set designers, with your costume designers, and with the other artists, visual artists that were behind this, because it really was incredible.
Well, thank you. You're right. I knew a Christmas movie was a great opportunity to really do scope, scale, and spectacle, which is really what it takes to really compete in the movies today, right? I mean, everything is just so big and so epic. And so I met a lot of different people for production designer. Aaron Osborne, who I had not worked with before, just had the right mind, right? Because my attitude in this movie was more is more. And I just wanted big, I wanted crazy, I wanted innovative. And we started jamming. And I remember when we were on the set for the first time, I said, and here's where the zoetrope tree grows. And he goes, what do you mean? I said, no, we're going to build this tree that has all the different 12 days of Christmas on it. And it's going to revolve layer by layer, clockwise, counterclockwise, and it'll light up. And I described it all. And he goes, oh, it's that kind of movie. I said, it's exactly that kind of movie. And he goes, I can build that. I'm like, that's what I'm talking about. So we just kept being very big, very ambitious. We looked at a lot of footage of real Candy Cane lanes, all the beautiful things that people do, decorating their houses. And I said, look, that's what regular people could do. We're Hollywood. We got to top them. So when we found the technology to do the Matrix house, I'm like, yes, let's do stuff like that. In terms of wardrobe, Sharon Davis, we had worked together before. She actually did costume for Django Unchained. I was like, Sharon, let's go. And she goes, really, Reggie? I was like, yes, really, come on. and we had so much fun designing all the costumes. Pepper, the Lords of Leaping, because I said, look, I want Pepper to look stylish but normal in the beginning, and her outfits to escalate as we go. She totally got it. Tracy Ellis Ross, obviously we know how stylish she is. I said, look, she's a housewife, she's a professional woman, but she's got style, and we need to feature that. So, we just figure out the right looks for everybody. And I said, and by the time we have the final showdown, I want the family to be a family, but I want them in superhero costumes. And we found the perfect ugly sweater for Eddie, and just great looks for everybody.
Thank you so much. It's a beautiful offering. I'm so grateful. This is destined to be a classic. Thank you.
Very kind of you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Reggie. Carolyn First. Here's what happened in Carolyn Toss podcast. This film is very fun, and it's not what I was expecting at all. I wasn't expecting the whole 3D aspect of it. Like that it is very much has a lot of sci-fi elements. But I want to ask you about making a Christmas film at this particular time in your life, because you've done biopics, you've done thrillers, you've done dramas, you've done rom-coms, you've done literally every genre of film, except possibly horror and gore. But like, what was it about this particular time in your life that made you decide, you know what, I'm ready to make a Christmas film, and I'm ready to do it with someone like Eddie Murphy, who you did Boomerang with, which is one of the most iconic films from the 90s. So talk about choosing to make a film like this at this point in your life, and having Eddie Murphy come back and say, you know what, we're going to bring you from Boomerang to to Christmas Lane.
Well, it just, all the pieces came together. I've been trying to make a Christmas movie for quite some time. And I had a general meeting with the folks at Amazon. And one of the things I expressed was I really want to make a Christmas movie. And they said, well, we have a Christmas movie that we're very excited about, and Eddie Murphy is going to star in it. I said, okay, we're done. Let's start on Monday. Eddie and I had been trying to find another project to do together since Boomerang. And again, Boomerang even took us a while to find the right script. So the fact that Eddie loved the script, I love the script, just because, as you said, the movie starts, you think it's one movie. You go, okay, this is cute, this is cool. And then it takes a hard left turn. You're like, oh, wait a minute, this is crazy. And then by the time you get to the third act, and then that third twist happens, you're like, wow, I didn't see this coming, right? And I just love the originality of that. And I knew it would give me the freedom to freestyle. And of course, so excited to work with Eddie again. Because one of the great things about Eddie, besides him being a comedic genius, is that he attracts so many great stars, because who doesn't want to be in a movie with Eddie Murphy? So you get a Tracy Ellis Ross, you get a Nick Offerman, you get Robin Thede, you get all the people you want to work with because they want to work with Eddie. So you end up with an, with a all rock star team.
Yeah, I think the casting was spot on. And also I kind of like the theme of instead of reaching for the brass ring, is reaching for the gold ring and like achieving those goals. I like that you have that element in this story as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Reggie. Michael Soa from Team JVS and Jedi Mike 7. I wanted to commend you on the fact that, as it's being a Black film with a lot of tropes and stuff, there's also the joke in the film about, well, Black people, we separate and you know what's going to happen to you. And you made the decision of create a decision having the entire family together to pass the climax of the film. Usually in Christmas stories, well, it might be having like the father or mother as the center figure. It's just like they going through their arc and then regroup with the family at the end about the whole meaning of Christmas. But this whole family was incorporated. They all had their individual arcs and basically goals that they achieved in terms of finding themselves and the stuff they were dealing with in the holiday season as a family. So I just want to ask you, as your perspective as director, that what was the choice of you making that in terms of bringing them all together for the story at the end?
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, thank you. And secondly, I mean, again, so much of this movie is a reflection of my family and my life. I have 2 kids, not 3, but, as we were making this movie, my daughter was waiting to hear what college she was going to get into. So, and, my son is very creative, He has his, struggles with a couple of classes. So we can really relate to so many of those family storylines. And we're making a family movie, meaning it's about a family, it's for family, and everyone wants to be represented. I want my children to have characters to relate to as much as my wife and I. And also the core theme is about family coming together, because what is Christmas about except family and love, right? Yes, it's great to have a nice tree, a nice ornament, nice music, nice cup of cocoa. But if you get together with your family and there's love amongst all of you, then that's the spirit of Christmas. So for all those reasons, it was very important to have all the characters be fully active and have full participation and ownership in the happy outcome. Because so often we say we can handle it, we can do it, we're tough, we're strong. But you know what? If you work together, you can go farther, faster, better. So let's admit we need help. Let's have our loved ones help us and help each other.
Yeah, thank you. My wife was watching this and she was just feeling like, 'cause we just got married this past summer, and now it's like we're trying to start our traditions and everything. So when we're just seeing the personality of just the Black families there, and during Christmas, that was really a good sight to see. So thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Nancy Green with Film Critique.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted one of the things that I really like about these kinds of movies is the focus on lessons and all of these things that kind of bring families together. And I wanted to know, what were some of your inspirations to put into this film to kind of bring that to the forefront?
Well, I was very fortunate in that when I first got the script from Kelly Younger, I was like, hey, man, how you been eavesdropping on my family? Because, I really relate to so much of these storylines. And even if it hasn't happened to me, I get it. When you're, a man and you lose your job in middle age, or anyone, man, woman, whoever, and you go, hey, I don't know if I'm going to get another job that pays that well again. I may end up being a greeter in Walmart. This is tight out here. So I said, let's ground it in real people problems, okay, I've got a problem, but my wife is having a great day. I'm not going to step on my wife's triumph for me to sing the blues, right? So I said, no, so these are all things that we can feel, we can relate to. How do we help our kids make the right decisions, whether it's going to college, whether it's what to focus on, because if I'm having hard times, I certainly don't want my child to have a hard time. I want them to be successful. So let's ground this in real problems. And then let's explore solutions. Do you try to do it all yourself, or do you ask for help? Who do you ask for help? What kind of a help do you accept? These are all, even though we've got a lot of fantasy, it's grounded in real lessons that we can go home. Because if a movie entertains you, but also gives you blueprints for living, then that's the greatest benefit.
Nice, nice. Yes, thank you. And you can definitely see that in the movie.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Hudlin, Harrison Martin with Flix Frog. The topic of a Black Santa can be a very steamy one here in the United States. So I want to know what went into your decision to cast David Alan Grier as Santa. Because for me personally, when I saw that in the movie, I don't know why the biggest smile creeped up on my face, and I was just like, this works. I love this. And I really enjoyed his take. So what went into your decision?
Well, the thing is, what's great about the movie, even though there's this fantasy element that enters, it's, Santa's not really a factor, right? Until, it really gets to crunch time. And then they said, okay, let's reveal that there really is a Santa, right? We got a bad elf, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. So I was like, well, who is the perfect Santa? And for me, I was working with so many friends that I've worked with before that I will work with again, or new people that I've been dying to work with. So I said, David Alan Grier. David Allen Greer will annihilate this. You know, he's got the beard, he's got the whole nine. And not to mention, I knew people would be excited that Eddie and I were working together again. But if we brought in one more Boomerang player, people would really feel hyped. And we were at the premiere the other night, and you know, the sleigh comes down, and then when it comes to a stop and it pushes in, and you see David, and then he goes, Peppermint! The place exploded. I mean, it was crazy because they were just like, this is what I'm talking about. It's Black Santa, which is a win, but it's David Allen Greer Santa, which is a stupid win. Now, some people may say, oh, that's controversial. Not in my house. I got Black Santas all over my house. I got Black Santa, I got Black Angel. I alternate who's at the top of the tree every year. Because, you know, I got Black Angels on my tree. So, you know, you can have whatever you want at your house, but I know what's happening at my house.
Thank you. It was a hilarious movie.
Thank you.
Glad to work together.
Hey, how you doing, Reggie? Again. So I just wanted to ask, because this is such a big scope and it's so pivotal, what was the biggest challenge of this? Like the undertaking of the inception of it, or was it certain things of dealing with the technology or the casting? What was the biggest challenge with trying to get this made and a staple?
Well, look, the good news is, hey, we're greenlighting your movie, a big Christmas movie with Eddie Murphy, but we have to have it for Christmas of 23. And the timetable was unbelievable. So it was pressure on everything. We basically started the bulk of principal photography in January of this year. So we made this movie with a little under 1,000 special effects shots, 85 minutes of score, 65 music cues in addition to the score, in 9 months.
Wow.
9 months. So, you know, to make any movie, it could be a little low budget movie, 2 people in a room, and to do it in 9 months is tight. To do something on this scale in that timetable was extraordinary.
This makes it so much more special. Thank you, Reggie.
Thank you.
Hi, Vina again. I was really fascinated by the character of Pepper, the fact that she's kind of like the evil elf. But I was wondering, is there a little bit of a gray line there? Because it seems like she was scorned and therefore she's trying to give everyone the treatment that she got. But in a way, she's trying to redeem them. It just doesn't go well. So I was wondering, with the character of Pepper, did you have her working within that gray line? Or do you or yourself kind of filmed or considered her to be that villain of the story?
Well, you know, we talked a lot about Pepper and who she is. And because I said, you know, part of this is kind of a Lucifer story, right? You know, Lucifer was, you know, God's right hand, right? And, you know, then went too far and fell, you know, and it's like, well, you know, God ain't doing it right. You know, I gotta, so, you know, so there was that element, right? Then we talked a lot about Kathy Bates' character in Misery, who is, I'm your biggest fan as I break your ankles, right? So there's those people who go too far with it, right? Like, no, I'm trying to help you out, but you're not, right? And we all know people like that. In Pepper's head, she's the hero. Right? I'm on your side. I'm helping you. You don't even appreciate it. But, you know, and we know people like that. We all know people like that. And I just thought that's a very more interesting take of an antagonist as opposed to, I'm a villain, I just want to hurt people. You know, hurting people, she's hurting, she's like, I have to punish you. But it's what you need. Right? Is that mentality of like, well, no, that's a little too much. You're just too soft. Right? That mindset.
Thank you.
Hey, it's Karan. I wanted to ask, for someone who's created so much for us, I'm curious, what was your greatest gift for making this Christmas film? And what is Santa bringing you this year?
Well, Santa's bringing me this movie, and I'm very grateful to have had the opportunity to make it. Anything else is extra, but I'm just very happy having made this film. But what was the first question again?
What's been your greatest gift from making this Christmas film?
Honestly, I've been so fortunate to work with the people I work with on this movie, and this is a real positive vibes only kind of movie. Where like people are like, wait, it's a Christmas movie. There's no violence. There's no sex. We're just feeling good and doing something positive. Everybody loved that environment. You know, we go to work, it's Christmas every day. We go to Candy Cane Lane, the decorations are up. You just feel good, you know? So, and to work with people on that level of talent, because Eddie's kind of like Michael Jordan, right? He can win the game by himself, but if you put the right team around him, it's ridiculous. So him and Tracee Ellis Ross had this amazing chemistry, and you're like, ooh, that's tight. Then, you put the Village people together. You put Nick and Chris Red and Robin, and they're vibing with each other. You're like, whoa, that's a squad. And then the kids, because these kids have to play opposite some of the most talented, experienced, performers, and the kids are keeping up. And you're like, woo! And all the technical crew, just to pull all this stuff out, and everybody's on it. So I'm just grateful for the whole experience.
It is a wonderful experience, and the kids were magnificent. I will say that out loud. The kids were fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Reggie again. So I want to ask you something about the silly elements in this film. So like one thing about a Christmas film that has to make a Christmas film work is you can have like serious elements, like, like the whole concept of feeling like Pepper feeling like she was left out or betrayed or put aside. Or even the whole thing, even the reading the receipts, like read the fine print kind of thing. I thought that was kind of funny. But I want to ask you about the animals, because I believe this is your first film where you've worked with live animals on set. And for like birds, like I know like swans in particular and geese are very violent birds. I live in Canada. We have our Canada geese are known as cobra chickens. And they're known as that for a reason, because like geese and birds, they're not to be trifled with. But what was it like for you? Like I just want you to talk about the fun aspects of the film, like working with animals and incorporating that into the story and working with the kids and everyone on set. Because I know working with animals isn't easy, but like you got swans, like you have swans in a pool. Like come on now.
Yeah, I mean, almost all the animals you see are digital, because most of these animals that you see on screen are untrainable, right? And like you say, and they can get ornery. So we're like, we don't need none of this. So, sometimes we'd have a few, real swans here and there, but the vast majority of what you see interacting and doing stuff, those are all digital. So just kept everything very, very easy. We did have a real cow for the maids of milking sequence. But that was the exception. Almost all the birds you see are not real birds.
I was here looking for some funny stories about maybe a goose or a swan chasing someone.
Yeah. No. There was no way that was going to happen. Because they're just like you say, they're tough-minded animals. So we said, you know what? Let's make our lives a lot easier and just have some digital birds. And again, that's the amazing thing about industrial light and magic, because they just all look like birds. They're all real, and they're so brilliant at capturing not just the look, but the movement and the attitude. It's extraordinary.
Great. Thank you so much. I really did enjoy the film, and I enjoyed the birds and all of the chaos.
Yeah, no, it's fun to go crazy. Most holiday movies don't have kung fu fights and car chases and jump scares. So I said, let's throw a little something extra in the movie. Let's have a little more fun.
Hi, Reggie. Michael again. I want to talk about the news broadcasting side, particularly with DC Young Fly and Danielle. Like that to me, where I've seen them, their dynamic just being, I think there was cousins, I believe. And the fact that one seeing DC Young Fly just being having this personality, you did not tone it down or anything like that. You let him be, but also as being a black female reporter, seeing the dynamic of a white reporter to a black female reporter, don't know what to do. Again, that type of situational humor. I think I really love seeing that dynamic. My wife loved that. So I just want to ask you the process of, I guess adding them into film, into story and everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, Danielle Pinnock, I saw her audition and I was just blown away. I was like, oh my God, this woman, she's just got so many moves to the basket. She's so talented, so funny. She knows how to do that announcer voice. And then you see her like, hey, it's just whatever. It's local cable. It ain't that deep. So she's going to freestyle. The fact that she got her cousin a job, and I'm like, did her cousin have a job before that? Is that his first real job? We don't know. But and DC, I couldn't wait to work with DC Young Fly. He's such an amazing talent. And the last thing I'm going to do is tone him down. I said, you be you and just be that wild man, that just blows up the spot and is just the truth teller. Because there's so much craziness going on. I needed characters to make sure the audience could keep track of what was happening, but I didn't want it to be dry. I said, I wanted to be the opposite of dry. I wanted the most flavorful descriptions possible. And DC Young Fly is that dude.
Right. And I love the scene where, when the stuff's going down, like the man just shrunken down and just turned into this. I should have been back in the hood. Like that's like that. Me and my wife was like, that's what I was thinking, So it just like, again, it was so relatable. And I really enjoyed this, film. Best will be adding to the library of Christmas classics, especially to our family. And I hope to more other families too. But yeah, again, thank you. And congratulations on the film.
Thank you. And look, we all have this fight for representation, right? And the thing is, the trick is, when you just have one black character in a movie, that's too much weight. You can't represent all black people. But in a movie like this, you've got, a family, a mother and father, both professionals, both great at their jobs. Then, you've got, all the way down to DC Young Fly. And you go, wait, that's my whole family. That's my whole friend group. You've got all of us represent every kind of black person represented, because you can't put us in any one category. We are too diverse within our own culture to be put in any kind of box. But what's exciting and what we don't see enough is to see the full range of our flavors, the full range of our beauty. Then you go, oh, wow, why does this feel like I'm at home? Because it is your home. We're just reflecting what you see every day.
Reggie, I mirror what everyone has said. Thank you again for creating a holiday film that people will be watching forever, for generations to come. So bravo to you for that. On behalf of the world's largest, you already know what I'm going to say, largest group of Black film and TV critics, we thank you, sir. We appreciate you and we value you.
Gil, and you've heard me say this to you 100 times. I love what you do. I love that you gathered everybody in your community because, when we come together, it's stronger and it's better. And I love it. We're out here making Black movies, but if we don't have critics who can understand and critique it and tell the truth about who we are and what we do, then, the job isn't complete. So I'm always grateful to you. I'm always grateful for all of you and what you do. And I really appreciate it. I appreciate your kind words, calling the holiday classic. Your lips to God's ears. And we're just hoping for the best.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Enjoy the holidays.
You too.